Hello, good morning, dear students. Class 7th, how are you all? Your subject is English, and today we are going to continue the chapter Amar's Cafe. In previous lecture, I give you general detail of all the chapter, what happened in the story. So today we are going to discuss the summary, and today we are going to read the story and also discuss the overall summary of the chapter. Your chapter start page number 58. Open your books, page 58. This is a short story with an unfortunate kick in the tail. You might like to try making up your own ending for it. So writer is telling you that writer is giving you the end, but final paragraph is like that it's make a two ending, like one ending. So when we read at the last para, so you might like to try making up your own ending. It's two ending I give you, so you select whether it's the ending is like this or it's the other way to end the story. But if you don't like, you remove the last para, and if you want to try a story, if you want to write a story, so you can make up trying to making up your own ending for this story. You can give ending touch to your own ending touch. Now move towards the first para of the first two para of the story. In the first two paragraph of the story, there is only the description of the place. Description of place is where the Amars wants to build a cafe. In the first two paragraph, there is the detailed description of the place, how the plot, how this site looked like. So now I start it. The plot of land stood adjacent to the park. Nobody had thought of developing the site because everyone has assumed it was a part of the park. A building had once stood on the plot, but now there was only a heap of only garbage. 3 or 4 walls still remained, outlining where rooms had once been, but it would only be a matter of time before these two crumbled and joined the large heap of debris on the ground: bricks, stone slabs, rotten bit of woods with protruding nails, broken glass, and twisted, rusting metals, along with heaps of smashed tiles, were widely strewn around the area, some partially and dangerously hidden and covered by a thick undergrowth of thorn, shrubs, and grasses. A large mulberry tree stood in what was at one time the front garden of the house, but this too had now been swallowed up and enveloped by creepers, shrouding it and stifling its growth. The overripe mulberries, unpicked and untasted save by the birds, had fallen and rotten on the ground, blotching innumerable surfaces with dried red smears. There was a time when the boys of the neighborhood had climbed the branches of the mulberry and delighted in picking and savoring the sour fruit, but now no one ventured on this uncared for site. What once had been a flourishing house and garden, pulsating with life and laughter, now stood empty, desolate, and forgotten. In the first two para, you see that there was only the description of the place. Before moving, writer does not move directly to the character or directly start the story. First, in the first two para, he gave the description of the place where Amars want to build a cafe. So how writer depict this place? This place is totally broken, and many people, this was undeveloped. Why this site was undeveloped? Why no one build anything here on this place? Because everyone assumed that it was the place, it was a part of the park. It means ke adjacent to this site there was a park, so everyone think that it was the part of this park. So no one never think about to build or to make this place. But What Amar know that this was not the part of park, so he wants to build here a cafe. But what was the condition of this site? This site is totally broken, rotten, rusted metals, rusted nails, heaps of stones, bits of woods, and all these bricks and trees are also rotten, dry, and all these are the things you saw in this place. So this is totally ruined place, this is totally broken place. In the third para, writer moved toward the main character. Now in the third para, main character of the story is introduced, and here you know about the character of Amar and also the profession of Amar, what is his profession and what he do and how his home. Amar lived, so now move on third para. Amar lived not far from this unusual sight, in a house that he had acquired with hard earned money. He passed the site by the park every day on his way to work, riding his bicycle, or more often than not, pushing it ahead of him for attached to it were two large baskets laden with his wares. He dealt in brass. What was his profession? He dealt in brass. He has a bicycle and where he stiffened, where he fastened two ropes and he fixed a basket and all his wares, all his things for sale. Wares mean all his the things that he sell. So all his things he put on this basket and go to the market. He dealt in brass and had done so for more years than he could count, and he is working many years since many years. The work hard bargaining when making his purchases and more hard bargaining when selling to customer with an eye for a good deal had made him weary, and he now spent many hours of the day and night thinking about doing something that was a bit more settled. How pleasant it would be to have some employment that did not require many miles of footwork. He had often mused, he was often thinking. It's mean in the third paragraph, writer gave the description that Amar house is also situated to that place where he want to build a cafe. So there he gave the description of his work that he dealt in brass, and it's also very difficult work that he make the things and bargaining and purchase all these things, and also this is also very difficult task to attract the customer to his work, like to his things, to his wares. It's also very attract difficult things to purchase all the thing and make the bargaining. So this all things tired very, this also thing tiring the tiring Amars. So Amar many time thinking that he would search any like that type of work that's also settled and also very comfortable, and this does not need any effort. So he's thinking about that. I'm going to open a cafe, Amar said to his wife abruptly one morning as he was preparing to set off for work. So suddenly one morning when he was setting off for his work, so he announced that I'm going to open a cafe. So his wife is shocked, and he also know that Amir's many times before he is also making the plan. So she does not take any notice. Yes, agreed Maham without further comment. Oh, Maham say nothing, only he say okay, it's okay. She know that his plan never come to reality, never come true. So definitely he just say okay, yes. For she had heard him voice his plans for the future on many occasions before. Nothing had ever come of these schemes of his, and she had always ridiculed them as being mere pipe dream. And what Maham thought about her husband. She said that I know that he is always thinking, and he is always making schemes and making plans, but his plans are like mere pipe dream that without any base, without any reality. His dreams are his plans are only dreams without any reality, that has no reality, that has no conclusion. It's only a dreams. There you go again, he had said with good humor in days gone by. You and your grand schemes. What Maham saying? You and your grand schemes. Just leave it. Settle down. I would like to see it. There is no more chance of that than of my becoming president. So here, his wife is making a fun to his husband that she's saying that making of cafe is like the chance of my becoming a president. Like she said that it's impossible for me to become a president. So the same way, it's also impossible for you to make cafe or to make any plan and to make that plan into reality, convert into reality. So it's also impossible. There was no laughter now, simply a quiet resignation. She had not long giving up hope of a change in their circumstances. His extended absence from the home and not suited either of them. Like Maham lost the hope of changing in their condition, changing in their circumstances. I really mean it this time, he assured her. So now Ahmed said that I really mean it. It's mean in this time I really mean I make my plan and I met the reality. Comprehending the disbelief in her eye, I have already found a place to build it, my cafe, that is, and the money is in the bank, and the deposit is secure at any rate. And what is more, the old lady has assured me that I can pay the rest in my own good time. You'll see. We shall be more settled, more content, and much happier at long last, and we can both work as a team. So what do so he is Amir is now want to convince his wife. He said that you see that this time I make my plans and I met it reality. I met it reality. I already searched the place. I go to the bank. I went to the bank. I arranged the money, and I also talked to that lady. That is the owner of this site, and this lady said, "Mean you can pay me later in your good times." Means you can pay the money later. So all these things I have already arranged. What do you think? Maham did not believe Amar's plan for starting a cafe. It's a question that Maham believed or he don't believe for making a plan of a cafe. And student, you realize that whether Amar in reality went to all these things and he had arranged all the things, arranged the money, talked to the lady, went to the bank, and all these things he had arranged, or it's only his thought, only he is thinking. Now move on. Steady on Amar soothed Maham, suspecting that he was getting carried away by his fancies. What place, what deposit, what lady? So Maham is now want to rising. Maham is now rising a question. What place? What place about you are talking about? And what deposit? What lady? Whom you are talking about? Who is the lady? Where is the place? What deposit? And all these things. Maham is raising a question, raising all these questions. Ahmed did not look at her directly or give her an answer right away. He pulled a length of rope off a hook on the wall and used it to tie up one of the baskets that was in danger of coming away from the bicycle frame. That would not do at all, he thought to himself as he heaved on the loose end of the rope and fastened it to the basket. To have all my wares tumble down accidentally because of one loose string. What a thought! So he's thinking. So this paragraph is also his thought. Amir is making his bicycle that he is tying the rope from one side and second and the other end is also loose. So his rope is loose. His rope is loosed. One end is loose. So what happened? His all wares tumble down, and he is thinking about all these things. How I fasten my rope with my bicycle. What place? Replied Amir eventually, having taken his time in coming up with a satisfactory explanation. Why the one on the corner next to the park? You know, the one with the mulberry tree in it, where our boys used to play so long ago. I found out I found out who the owner of the land is now, and I have agreed to buy it. I have been putting away a little money each week for years, Maham. It is all agreed. So there is no use in trying to deter me from this. The bank is going to lend me the money. The old lady has agreed to sell it to me. I shall start to clear the lane on Saturday. Our cafe will not be a dream for much longer. Now what he say? Now Amar is replying, giving the replying the question what his wife asked. His wife asked what place. So Amar told that the place is adjacent to our house, that the next to the park, and where there was a mulberry trees, where our boys of neighborhood all these are playing there. So this is the place, and you now no one dated me, no one prevent me, no one stop me now. My plans came to reality. No one stopped me, no one can stop me. So I'm talking to the bank manager, I am lending the money and all these things. So what happened, and all and the owner of the land is also agree, old ladies also agree. So I start my cafe. Maham student gaped at him. Okay, he said, okay, okay. He was lost for words. He did not know whether or to shout for joy or to weep. He did neither, but stood and stared blankly at him, trying to take in and make sense of all this news. So what happened now? Maham is just looking like he's not attentively listening all his talks. He's just listening him, and just he's just blankly staring towards the armor, and just he said nothing. He said, I know this only a mere, it's only a mere news, it's not any reality.